Good afternoon. It is 2:58 from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. In NFL news, Vikings tight end TJ Hawkinson suffered a season-ending torn ACL and MCL versus the Detroit Lions on Sunday. The Jaguars signed QB Matt Barkley to their active roster from the New York Giants practice squad after Trevor Lawrence was hurt in that game this weekend. And speaking of games, we had some games on Christmas. As to end the night, the Ravens played Grinch and won on the West Coast, 33-19. Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions and left with a stinger, leaving Sam Darnold for mop-up duty. Lamar Jackson finishing with 297 total yards and 2 TDs. Baltimore moves up to an NFL best 12-3 with a Miami Dolphins matchup looming with number 1 seed implications. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone. We're locked and loaded on this, post-Christmas day. Got a lot to reflect on, man, with the Titans taking on the Seahawks on Sunday. Get your reaction. But first and foremost, we are powered by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, and we're going to be coming to you all week long. We got some remotes going on. Going to be at Buffalo Wild Wings on Thursday in the Hermitage, so I'm sure everybody wants to slide out there. You only got a day and a half, to get there. So make your way on out there and let your family know, hey, I got to be out there for the wash away toast with 3HL, Big Slay. Got to be out there with the people. But outside of that, man, we appreciate everybody tuning in today on this belly full, happy hearts, kids excited day right after Christmas. I hope everybody's enjoyed their Christmas. Got a couple of questions I want to ask you, but first and foremost, man, you can always join in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Thank you, Smiley. We got Jay Smiley in there sitting in with us today. What up, Smiley?
What's happening, Slay? How was your Christmas, man?
Man, my Christmas was pretty good, man. I ain't got not many complaints at all. None, really. Got to spend time with my grandparents. I got to see my grandparents on both sides. My grandmother's still here today, so that was real cool. Then being able to take some pics, get 4 generations all in there in one shot. So that was cool to see, man. How was your Christmas, Smiley? You get anything special, anything you wanted that you had to have?
It was solid. I got a pair of Jordan 1s I was showing you in the green room pre-show. Excited about those, wearing them today.
Dope.
It was a great Christmas. Spent time with family. Watched a lot of football. What football did you watch this weekend?
Man, I watched quite a bit. of football, man. It was a lot going on. But Ural is out today. He is on assignment for today and tomorrow. So me and Babsy will be holding it down. And speaking of Babsy, Babsy's in the building. What up, Babsy?
I'm in the building.
That is Babsy. Babsy, I got a question to ask you. I asked Smiley how his Christmas went. He asked me how mine was. Got a couple of things to lead off with that. But how was your Christmas? How was baby Bab's Christmas?
It was great. Santa brought her a Minnie Mouse motorized little car, like SUV looking thing.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Baby Babs is on the road?
Yeah.
Does she have a left lane?
She has trouble. She has figured out how to put it in reverse, how to put it back in drive. It was inside the house, right? Because Santa put it in the house.
Right.
I'm like, okay, this is an outside toy. Yeah. No. Yeah. There's all gas, no brakes for baby Babs.
She's rolling.
I'm like, helmet. Every time, helmet. Like, I got my house repainted, right?
Yeah, you messed these walls right on
already. I'm like, no. You got to stop. Like, there is no break.
I love it.
It's a disaster.
I love it. I love when
But we had a good time, good family time. I've got the Davenport, I don't even know what to call them. I was going to
Gang?
call them Cyclone or something. The Davenport Cyclones are heading to the house right now. They're probably listening as they drive through Tennessee to get to the house. So we will.
Oh, Mama Buff.
Yep.
Big Tom.
Buff and Tom
Yeah.
and my brother
Hey, your
is
brother
coming. Yep.
I
Uncle
might have to stop
Dane
by.
and-
I might have to stop by on this one.
Yep. Aunt
My guy.
Brandy, Demi, and Dylan. They also have a brand new puppy.
Uh-oh.
Chewy.
Wait a minute. So is Chewy going to be integrated into
Yeah.
what's going on at the house?
It's when I say cyclone, chaos,
That's a
disaster,
perfect name.
it's like all of
Oh,
this.
this is going to be good.
Because the Davenports in and of themselves
It's his own little
are
cyclone.
a disaster anyway. I mean, trust me. Like my mom's
Yeah.
name's Buff. She lives
Yeah.
up to that name.
Well,
And then my brother's like, "Oh, you're working tomorrow? You're doing radio
Mm.
tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yes." So we'll be. Are you here tomorrow with me? Yes,
I am.
it's me and you tomorrow. So he was like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll just come in studio
He
and
should.
do a couple segments." I'm
Yeah,
like,
come
"Oh
on.
Lord, have
Yes.
mercy."
Come on,
No,
man.
that would be the worst
No,
idea
that would
ever.
be the greatest, Babsy, because
He
we
has
reminisce.
no filter.
I love it.
You think I have no filter?
Yeah.
That dude has no filter.
Well, that's cool. We just put Mace on pins and needles back in his
Oh, my
office.
gosh,
It'd be cool.
So you had a good Christmas?
I did. It was cool. We got Lil Ron his own, so he's into music and all of that and videos.
Yes.
So we got him a DJ turntable
Oh my goodness.
and a beat machine, so he can sit in his
Let's
room and make his
go.
own beats now. We can lean all the way in on this and let him have a good time with that.
boy.
So we're gonna see what comes of this. So since he wants to be in his room and is in that in between teenage stage and
Right,
trying
where-
to figure
where
out like
he
you
doesn't
don't
wanna hang out with
you know
the
what I'm saying? You
parents
don't
and
want
all.
to
Yeah.
see nobody or anything. So okay, well we're gonna make sure
I
you're
know how
busy
that
up there in
is.
your room. Yeah, I hate that.
And mine's only about to be 12. My stepson's
it's-
about to be 12, but it's already starting.
Yep, it's different.
Like, hey, the family's coming to town. You got to pick up all your football cards or
Yep.
this.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
right.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, don't want nobody up there with him or nothing.
Yeah, like Xbox.
Yeah, he's separated.
Yeah.
Separated.
I'll give him credit, though. He gave baby Babs her own remote that wasn't attached to the Xbox.
So go and let her feel like she playing.
She's sitting there, like, every time he would, like, die on the
Yeah.
game or whatever, she's like, oh, man. Like, great. We've already turned her into a gamer. Joe Hunk would be so proud.
He sure would.
Yeah.
He sure would.
Yeah. By the way,
Joe
he's
Hunk?
Ron Slay.
Hey, what up? I'm in the building.
Yeah. I love that you're in the building today.
I am in the building, Babsy.
Boom, boom. And we have Smiley behind the glass.
That's
Did you
right.
you already bring him in?
What's
Talking about
happening?
Smiley.
What up, Smiley? Thanks for holding down the fort. I had a couple of player calls.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So I'm working the Liberty Bowl on Friday, the Music City Bowl on Saturday. So I'm trying to navigate
Get things in line.
all these plans
I thought you brought up something interesting in the green room, though, when we were
in the green room.
discussing the
Like we're
show,
so
like we always
fancy.
do.
Like we
in
have
the-
a green room.
We're in the green room, y'all.
Yeah.
You want to look for us? We're in the green room meeting.
It's basically
you know
a
what I'm saying?
closet, but you know.
But we're in there.
Yeah.
Hey, check it out. So I think this goes right along the lines with Christmas. For everybody out there, first of all, let me give you the number, 615-737-1045. You can always interact in there and make chat. I already told you about it. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.
Twitch, please.
So this is the thing, Facebook as well. Have you ever had a present that you got and it wasn't quite the present that you wanted when you opened the gift? Maybe the size, which left you thinking, oh man, this is gonna be something big, or I can't imagine what this is gonna be. Then you open, you're like, oh. Or
What about the opposite?
there you go.
Because maybe a lot of you are like us, where you're like, hey, this is the gift I want.
Yep.
And here's the link on Amazon.
That's right.
So you don't screw it up. Just go ahead and order it, wrap it up, rock on, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you too, Babsy. Outside of that, how do you feel about gifts? Do you feel you should be able to tell a friend, partner, son, mother, daughter, husband, whatever it may be, what you want, or do you want to be surprised?
I'm usually not a surprise kind of
See,
person. I know that
like,
shocks you. but-
It does. But I would like to be, I don't want to be surprised either. Like, just ask me what I want. If I say I don't want nothing, I don't want nothing. But if I say I want something, then
Dang it, I forgot your gift at home.
It's okay.
It's all right, I'll have it tomorrow. It's a surprise.
I just said what I like. I don't like surprises.
Sorry.
Thanks. Just have it your way, Babsy. But this is the thing. Why? How many people out there had to go through that? Did you get the wrong thing? Did you get the right thing? Did you not live up to what was asked? I would love to hear from people because people got Christmas stories. Now, and I know they got Christmas stories, but I got something I want to lean into a little bit later regarding
the
Titans. Yeah. Yeah, a gift.
I'm going to tell you about so Mr. Babs did great.
Okay.
With a surprise.
With a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't. So did you drop hints though? This is what I need to know.
No.
This is all him.
Trust me, I would no.
Trust me, I would never drop a hint. Like, what?
He got me high top, like Jordan lookalike Auburn Tiger shoes with my name on them.
Really?
Yeah. They are sweet.
I need to see these.
And it was like the whole, like, open it and be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like the best surprise.
Hey.
Yeah.
Look at Mr. Babs, man. Just
the
on
best
top of
surprise.
it. Okay, see, I mean, okay.
Wait, can we let's go positive today on Titans Talk.
Would you like to go positive?
Yes, let's go like, oh, look, I got cool Jordan high top looking shoes. Yay. Let's go positive.
I'm not sure.
I don't need your negativity in here.
Okay. Okay, so this is my thing, baby. I want to stay positive. Because y'all know where I was sitting at when coming off the Miami game. And the belief didn't wash away toes, washed away all the disbelief. And going into this game, they do just enough for me to have the belief and it grow throughout the game. And then, soon as it's about to set sail, thunderstorm comes. Lightning hits my sail, and I'm just sitting in the ocean with nowhere to go. So I got some plays that I jotted down.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure that I'm on this Derrick Henry train anymore.
What?
Yeah, I think it's time.
How are you going to say that after he has a game?
I think see, that's the problem. That's the problem right there. After he's had a game, I think it's time, people. And I know, listen, hey, man.
He's the king.
He is the king. Has a crown, has a throne that he sits upon. And this is throughout the league. But I want everybody to know where I stand. It's time, y'all. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. It's time to move on from the king. It is time. Unless the king wanted to, and I mean this wholeheartedly, unless he wanted to come back and play in a reserve role or a closeout role, it's done. Like, it's over.
Dang.
Yeah, it's over. And I'm going to tell you why it's over, Babsy.
Okay.
The same production that you're getting in, and everybody is in wow and coming out of that game like, man, King was, boy, this is his game right here. Boy, y'all should have seen him. Boy, y'all didn't go to the game. Oh, y'all missed King. He was like his old self. You get the same production that you're getting out of that from Tajay Spears.
I was going to say he averaged 4.6 yards per carry.
Yeah. And Tajay averaged 4.4. Derrick Henry's longest was 12 yards. Tajay Spears was 11. Screen game, dump off passes, all used.
I saw you going back and watching every single Derrick
clip.
Henry and Tajay Spears carry play.
Mm-hmm. I did. And it's no knock on them, but if you would like for this team to go forward,
it's time.
You got to let them go. You got to let them go. And let them go be
Tajay
great.
Spears also had 5 catches.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, you let King Henry go be great. And I'm not saying, before everybody jumped the gun, he's not going to be able to carry the load like Derrick Henry. He's not going to have to.
You just lost me, Slay. Was on the chat.
Oh, man, I lost you? Oh, dang, man. I didn't want to lose you. You got to give me an opportunity.
I just told you to keep it positive.
I was trying to keep it positive.
How about this? We will, in the 4 o'clock hour, we've got Jim Wyatt coming up next.
Yep.
And we do have to break because Mayor's not here, so we have to pay attention.
At some point.
Ugh, I hate paying attention.
Help us with that, Smiley.
Yeah.
So you.
I got y'all.
In the 4 o'clock hour, we'll go positive. We can talk about 22 and Ron Slay's take on this because I think there's some people that want to talk about that.
I'm sure
we'll start that at 3:45 right after Wyatt and the 4 o'clock hour. But also, let's go positive with like the present, open the present. Oh my gosh, what a great surprise!
Okay.
Like, who's the great surprise in this dismal Titans season?
I like it
for you. And it could be anybody. It could be, a third stringer special teams guy. I don't care.
Could have been,
it could be anybody.
Stonehouse. Could be a Monty Hooker.
It could be anybody.
Roger McCreary staying available.
Like,
anybody.
Whatever. Who's been what a nice surprise this season in the midst of chaos.
Yes.
That's going to be our 4 o'clock segment. So start thinking about it. 615-737-1045. We'll get Jimmy Wyatt in to talk Titans right now. And then we are free the rest of the day to chat with you. You want to get away from the family? Step into the other room and call us and hang out with us. It'll be fun. This is 3HL on 1045 The Zone.
Welcome back into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone, locked and loaded on this great Tuesday, December the 26th. Rocking, and we got the one and only, we got Mr. Santa. Well, not Mr. Santa, Jimmy Claus, if you will. He carries around a mailbag. You can always get his knowledge and his coverage of the team with TennesseeTitans.com. Follow him at Wyatt Sports, right there on the X or Twitch or Twitter, whatever you want to call
Twitch,
it.
please.
There you go, Babsy. Thank you. Jimmy, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Ron. How you doing? Hope you guys are doing well and had a great Christmas.
Man,
You
most
too,
definitely.
Jimmy.
Most definitely, Jimmy. A lot of movement going on, Jimmy. With this Titans team diving straight into it. We saw
Because they don't have anybody left.
that's the thing. Like, what do we do with all this movement?
Yes, five new practice squad
Mm-hmm.
guys. What can you tell us about Titans roster-wise right now?
Yeah, signed a couple of defensive backs, Darius Phillips and Kendall Sheffield. Signed a defensive tackle and David Moa, tight end David Asiasi, and Devin Asiasi, and then Tay Crowder, linebacker, who went to Georgia and used to play for the Giants, and that's kind of where the team is. I mean, it's a depleted roster. A lot of guys going on injury reserve over the weekend. A lot of guys were called up from the practice squad to fill the spots of the guys who went on injury reserve, and now that leaves you with open practice squad spots, and that's where this team is. You know, it's been a tough road, obviously losing a lot of close games. Now you're banged up, and big question, I guess, going this week is whether you get the quarterback back and whether you get to see Will Levis play here down the stretch.
Yeah, what is the latest on Levis? Obviously, no practice today, but Vrabel was asked about him, and what do we think about if we could see him this week?
Well, it sounds like there's a good chance. I mean, Mike Vrabel said today that he's getting better, has made progress, wants him to play, and thinks the opportunity to play in a kind of a playoff-like atmosphere, because the Texans are fighting to get in this thing, and it's going to be either a home game for them. It's a valuable experience for him, and so if he can play and is healthy enough to play, he's going to play in this game on Sunday, and then obviously a game left against Jacksonville. It could have similar ramifications for Jacksonville. It'll be a home game for the Titans. So we'll see. I mean, he didn't do anything last Wednesday and Thursday, was out there for the stretch period on Friday, listed as limited. Saw him kind of go out on the field in pregame and looked like he was not very happy to be a spectator. But I know he understands, you know, they want him to be healthy, and now we'll just see if he can get healthy to play.
Let me ask it like this. How beneficial would it be for Will Levis to get back and play the last two games? Because we've had the conversation of benefit over risk of injury with the offensive line, with not a ton of weapons. You know, I mean, it's a conversation, right? If he's not 100%, which nobody's 100% at this point. But what would be the benefit for Will Levis in two more games when there's nothing on the line?
Well, I think for him, I mean, and I get both sides of it. I mean, one thing everybody would hate to see happen is him get hurt, and then spend the first part of this offseason rehabbing, or God forbid something happen that would impact the start of next season. But you can't think along those lines. I think what you think about now is he started 8 games. He's a player that has shown some really good things in those 8 starts. The more experience you can get him, the more reps you can get him, the better off it is going to be for him moving forward. And it's also an evaluation, 2 more games of evaluation for the coaching staff and the front office and the team, just kind of find out exactly what they have in him. So I do think there's a benefit to him playing. I mean, no one's liked the way this season has gone. It's been a frustrating year, losing 7 games by single digits and losing a couple of games in OT. Hey, no matter what happens in these next 2, you're not going to end the season feeling good about how things went. But I think for Will Levis, if he plays and he plays well and the team wins, it gives you some positive juice going into the off season. And I think every rep you can get when you're a young quarterback helps you.
You mentioned the 7 one-score losses this year. It almost doesn't feel like there were that many close games. But that's how close they are to, not being 5-10 and switching that record, right? So what is I don't know if you can point to one thing, but the big conversation on why the Titans haven't been able to finish?
Yeah, it's hard to understand because I'm looking at my list here, and it's a loss by 3. It's another loss by 3 in overtime. It's another loss by 3 in overtime. There's a 4-point loss in Pittsburgh in there. You lose a game against a good Ravens team in London by 8. That maybe if you make a play or two here and there, that would have been different. We remember the Saints game. I mean, there's so many games, and all of them have ended with the team coming up short for one reason or another. It's either not making a play on defense. This past week, I mean, you go ahead and you can't get off the field. And that's just kind of a similar thing against the Texans the previous week, where you had a chance to make a couple plays on balls, and you just can't do it. Penalties that keep drives alive for the other team, missed extra points, not making a play on offense when you need it. I mean, it's just been something different every time. And, part of it is because guys, maybe because your depth and guys out there are not good enough, and part of it also is your frontline guys just start making it happen when they need to. So it's a complete reversal of what we've seen around here during Vrabel's long, stretch as a head coach. His teams have always found a way to win these games, and now they're finding ways to lose. And it's just kind of, I know it's frustrating, and I know it's hard on the coaching staff and the players because it is tough to pinpoint just one thing, and things have just not gone their way.
Man,
Jim Wyatt with us, Titans.com.
Sorry, Jimmy. When you talk about this part of the season, and we've been saying it for like the last 2 weeks, really coming out of that almost coming out of the Colts game, but really coming out of the Texans game, you start to look at evaluations. You're evaluating guys moving forward, whether that be veteran guys or rookie guys, free agents, anything. You keep a close watch on guys. How would you evaluate what you've seen from King Henry moving forward from this year?
Well, man, I thought Sunday he looked good, and when he had holes to run through, I thought he attacked them, and I thought he was very, productive. The week before, it didn't look great, and it's not all the offensive line. I mean, Derrick has blamed himself for not taking advantage of some opportunities as well. I look at Derrick Henry. I think he still has some gas left in the tank, and I think he can be a good running back in this league and a productive running back in this league. I think, the team has a big decision to make about whether or not that's going to be here or whether or not you're going to change the direction you want to go with the offense and how much you want to lean on him. And there's a lot of questions that need to be answered even before you get to what happens with Derrick Henry in March. And right now, sitting here on December the 26th, I don't know the answer to those questions, and I don't know that a lot of people inside the building do. There's a lot that remains to be seen. And then once you figure out where you're going in certain areas, then you decide about what you want to do with personnel. So I'm curious to see what happens. It would be really weird to not have Derrick Henry on this team, not only because he's been such a great pro, he's been such a productive player, he's been such a great guy in the community, and I never got used to seeing Eddie George wear a Cowboy star on the side of his helmet. So it's hard to imagine Derrick Henry going somewhere else, but been around this league long enough to know that anything's possible.
It got to be a match made in heaven in some ways. When you look at it, how much do you think this relies on Derrick Henry to understand where the team's trying to go and what his goals are, knowing that in this game, we were speaking about it earlier, when you get an opportunity to get a certain amount of money, you almost have to take it, knowing how violent this game is and how quick it could be over, rather than saying if it was NBA or some of that nature. All right, man, I'm gonna take 3 years. I'm gonna be the vet. I'm gonna close out games. You know what I'm saying? You can approach it a little bit differently.
Step into more of a different role.
Yeah, a closer type role. So how much you think depends on Derrick being able to understand, all right, man, I'll give you this, even though the value may be higher, but I'll accept this to help the franchise move forward.
And could he even be that?
Yeah.
With his game? I don't know.
It's a good question. I mean, I don't know what it would look like. I mean, obviously, this year has been different than years past. So he was always kind of you built your offense around Derrick Henry in years past, and this year it's been a little bit different. He split carries with Tajay Spears, and I think moving forward, you have to realize that's going to continue to be the case because you got a good back in Spears who is just going to keep getting better. There's going to be a lot of things that go into the team's decision and his decision. I mean, the team could decide to keep him, with the franchise tag. We can't forget that that's an option, but also
which is pretty low for backs nowadays.
Yeah, but you also have to wonder, and he probably has to wonder what else would be out there in free agency. And I mean, just look at Ezekiel Elliott and how much of a productive guy he was in Dallas and how much he was a factor in their offense, and now on a new team, it's not the same for him. So I don't know how other teams would view Derrick if he hit the open market, and I don't exactly know right now how the Titans are going to approach things with him. Again, just so much to be determined.
So along those lines, a similar conversation, but when you look at Ryan Tannehill, obviously he started and played, and there was good and there was bad. But what does the future look like for him? Like, do you think, is he a starter in the league? Is he a backup? Is he what does the future look like for Ryan Tannehill at quarterback? Obviously, he's not a starter here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot depends on what happens across the league, from a head coaching standpoint, offensive coordinator standpoint. I mean, I'm not going to mention certain teams, but I know some teams in the league and some head coaches in the league that have a relationship with Ryan Tannehill will probably be very interested.
Atlanta Falcons, I'll mention it. Good old Art.
What capacity that is, I mean, I don't know. And again, it depends on who's employed where. But I mean, I think you could do a lot worse than Ryan Tannehill. I mean, some people would. He's still a good player. He's a good veteran. He'd be a good guy for a young quarterback to learn from. So I mean, I don't know, and I don't exactly know what he wants to do either. He's had a great career, and he's got a family that certainly probably love to spend more time with him as well. So I guess a lot of factors there to be determined.
What would your takeaway be from his performance on the 24th?
I mean, I thought he played pretty well. I mean, obviously held the ball a little too long at the end and took a couple of sacks. He said that's because they had long developing routes called, and it wasn't going to do any good to throw short and get tackled in bounds and see the clock run. So, I mean, you'd like to see quicker decisions and getting yourself a chance to kick a field goal. But it didn't happen that way. I thought, again, he gave him a chance to win. And, if the defense gets a stop there at the end, he's credited with guiding a 15-play, 75-yard drive in the closing minutes that produces a game-winning touchdown. But because the defense couldn't get a stop when Seattle got the ball, and again, you have to question some other things. So it's kind of been like a lot of games this season. Quarterback played well enough to win, but it didn't happen because of team coming up short in other areas. And again, he wasn't perfect himself, and he'd be the first to tell you.
How does your mailbag look nowadays? Well, because honestly, we haven't been in this situation with Mike Vrabel as head coach.
Yeah, it is, and as you can imagine, I mean, opinions are all over the place. I think the most of frustration came when the team was officially eliminated, and we kind of realized where this season was going. I think now people are looking at things from a development of younger players standpoint, from a draft positioning standpoint, obviously questions about what's going to happen when this season ends. So in some ways it's the calm before the storm, I have a feeling, and we'll just kind of see how this plays out here over the next couple of weeks.
So we know this offensive line has been a disaster. That is the number one, area that they have to address in free agency and the draft. But obviously we like looking forward here today to see what this roster could be and might look like next year. What is the next kind of position group do you feel that they have to address come free agency and the draft?
Yeah, I do agree. Offensive line's one. I think receiver has to be, and again, a lot depends on where you're picking and who's available when you're picking as far as how early a position could be addressed. But I don't think you can, I think at the receiver position, you continue to need playmakers there. I think you're going to need guys in the on defense in the secondary, up front, at linebacker. This is a team that has a lot of needs, not only up front, not only frontline players, but the depth has to be better. I think that's where this team has suffered the most here over the last couple of years, is when guys have gotten hurt, your quality of depth has just not been good enough to sustain playing at a certain level. So I think you're going to head into the off season with needs across the board, and I think they'll be attacked in free agency and the draft.
And they have some money to do it, too. So there's your positive for today, right?
It's gladly accepted.
Thanks, Jimmy. Jim Wyatt, Titans.com. Always appreciate you. Merry Christmas.
Okay, Merry Christmas. You have a good week.
Thanks,
you.
Jimmy.
See ya. There you go.
So, Babs,
wide receiver, interesting.
That is. And I will say, too, man, it's funny how...
It's like always on the list, though, for the Titans.
It has to be. I think D-Hop only he pacified you a little bit. Yeah, so, I mean, in this situation, it's funny when you remove a piece that's been around, just what it looks like. And I know it's not star-studded when you talk about NWI, but you think about some of the
consistency.
Yeah, like what was missing in that game. Yes, some of the throws were off, but it's different when you don't have a guy you're used to. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Tannehill was that used to Chris Moore. I think him and D-Hop had a little bit of a chemistry. Of course, him and Burks. But Burks is still getting his feet back up under him. I think one guy that he would rely on would be NWI. I think that would have helped him in that game. But you got to talk about him, that consistency. Like, he's a free agent as well. Like, do you bring a guy like that that's proven back?
I mean, you can. He's got to be cheap, right?
You would think.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's always somebody that likes to try to turn one person's trash into a treasure.
Not that he's
trash,
because he was so
exactly.
important.
I just talked
team.
highly about him, so I don't want y'all to think I'm.
But you know what I mean.
Like, So, but that even made me want to jump into it more about Derrick Henry and Tyjae Spears, because I went back, as some people tried to jump down my throat on the F&M Pink chat. Now, y'all been cool. Y'all been cool about it. But I do think it's a conversation worth having, and I can't wait to unwrap my gift in Tyjae Spears and be right there and let you know how pleased I was to get a Tyjae Spears gift, even if it did come into a small little box.
Okay. So we'll talk about that, because we kind of teased that. We want to get your calls.
I want to hear from the people.
Yeah, thanks to Jimmy for joining us, but our show is wide open the rest of the way.
Let's
so
get it.
615-737-1045, whatever you want to talk about. We did say that we're going to talk about the biggest surprise on the team this year. We're all about positivity here the day after Christmas. This is 3HL. You know how we roll. So who maybe was the biggest surprise, positive surprise for you on this Titans team? We're going positive today. And then, I don't know, Slate kind of hit the negative for some people, talking about Derrick Henry and being done. So if you want to go after Slave, have at it.
And guess what, Babsy? I'll wait.
Okay, there you go. That's what we call a tease in this business. Stay with us, 3HL 1045 The Zone. We're back after this. Oh, the holidays. They are here in Smashville as well. And the Preds are at home for some great matchups in the new year, through the new year. And one of them is tomorrow versus the Carolina Hurricanes. This is a great event to take the family to. It's always so much fun. The atmosphere is great. And the Preds are rolling right now, too, by the way. So they've got that game the 27th. That's tomorrow night versus the Carolina Hurricanes. That was my gift to somebody this year, and they're super excited to go. And January 2nd, Chicago Blackhawks. We hate the Blackhawks. They're in town. Great options for things to do with family and friends during the holiday break, and you have somewhere to go, and you don't have to wait in all the long lines around the honky tonks. There you go. Preds have been red hot since November, so get your tickets today. Go see Smashville, NashvillePredators.com/tickets.
Welcome back into 104.5 The Zone. This is 3HL, and we rocking and rolling. And Babsy has a public service announcement. Stop drinking eggnog, people.
Yeah.
Like
to the individual that said fire Will Levis.
Like how
Stop drinking eggnog.
How and why though?
Put the eggnog down.
That would be my question.
What?
I'm not. Babsy, it's some things you just gotta skim over.
What's the name? A lot.
Well, I missed.
A lot.
I must
salt?
be on Facebook.
I don't know. It is on something, a purple icon. Is that Twitch, please?
It could be.
Maybe it
is. I think it is Twitch, please. Yep. Gotta be, because I don't see it on
Will Levis. This is where we are.
Yeah. Hey, man, let's cool our jets, man. That's when the words.
Slay wants to fire the king.
No, okay, so let me clear this up.
I'm just trying to get you.
I want this. I want this, and I want the people. I want to hear from the people because there's 2 or 3 questions that need to be answered after I present my case in the 4 o'clock hour. 615-737-1045. Gather everybody around the fireplace and put it on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or Twitch.
Twitch, please.
And make sure you're watching 3HL right now because I got a case to present. And my case is to be presented on behalf of Tajay Spears.
Oh.
So Babsy posed the question, what's that gift that everyone that received, and you opened it and it was like, you saw the box, it was like, oh, wow. This is awesome. This is all right right here. So that's where I am with Tajay Spears. Why? Why am I there with Tajay Spears? Because first and foremost, when you look at rookies, period, all-purpose yards, Babs, you know where he lies?
Where?
4th. I saw Teron Davenport put this out. He relies
God, that
4th.
is with a garbage offensive line.
With a garbage offensive line and splitting carries.
And with 8 million quarterbacks.
And moving parts and everything. Yeah,
questionable
exactly.
play calling.
Absolutely right. You know who he's behind?
Tell me.
1, Puka Nacua. 15 games, 1,397 yards. This young man has been thrust into a lead role because Cooper Kupp was out. Cooper Kupp came back, and his role still was what it was. Number 2, that was for 15 games played. Bijan Robinson with 15 games played. We know all you can do do everything, catch out the backfield, run. Whole situation is built around Bijan Robinson. 15 games, 1,254 yards. 3rd, Jahmyr Gibbs, who we all know is a dynamic back because we got to watch him here, in the SEC. 13 games, 1,188 yards. You know who's the lead back for the Detroit Lions? Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, it got to that point they were looking to replace DeAndre Swift, who went on to do his thing. He's doing really good with the Eagles, but it's his job. All right. 4th is Tajay Spears with 1,013 all-purpose yards in 15 games. He is the only one on this list that is not the premier guy at that position. And he's still right there at 4th. So that, people, is my gift that I opened up and said, whoa. And I will say, Ray Gordon B, as soon as he fell in love with him at, the Senior Bowl.
With him forever.
Yeah, Senior Bowl, that's been his guy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
remember I talked to him earlier this year.
You did.
It was week 2, I think, or week 1. I worked a Tulane game.
That's right.
And so Puff over there was nice enough to set up a phone call so that I could chat with him just about Tulane and the program and his experience there or whatever. But, I love that dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he talked about his journey and growing up and wasn't always easy. And, man, he just has such a positive, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to make, people regret they didn't take me sooner, chip on the shoulder kind of guy, but in not a nasty way. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. He's that guy. He has that
He's
it
the
factor.
one you want on your team.
You picking him up. You
want him to eventually be the guy that mentors younger guys.
That's right.
He has all of that in him.
And it's not based in one aspect of the game. You can do plenty of things. Don't forget, y'all, this young man was on kickoff returns and everything too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And he also he was adamant about that too. He was like, from the get-go, I never just wanted to be a guy who carried the ball. He said, growing up, like playing football, I always knew that if I was going to make it, I had to make sure that I could do multiple things in my game. Mm-hmm. And that included catching the football. And it has always been a focus, and it's always been something big for him. He worked big time on pass pro at Tulane, like knowing that he had to take the next step.
Yeah. See?
And that was the way he was going to get on the field.
And, Babsy, while I'm sitting up here in the what's the little booth when you're in court? The little booth. I've been summoned. I gotta speak. I can put my hand on the Bible. And what's the little
oath?
Booth? I'm under oath, but I'm in the little booth. What's that little booth name?
The stand.
Right next. I'm on stand.
The witness stand.
I'm on a witness stand, Babsy. And so to help build my case.
We're talking about Spears, by the way.
We're talking about Spears.
Yes.
And while I opened up the package, I was, wow, it's Tajay Spears. Look at all he can do. And halfway through the Christmas day, I'm looking at all the other gifts everybody else got. Somebody got a Puka Nakua. Somebody got a Bijan Robinson. Somebody got a Jameer Gibbs. And I'm saying, look at this gift. Like, nobody even wanted this gift. And look, he's up there with the rest of them. He's having just as much fun. Like, we're getting games. He bakes cookies for Santa. Like, this gift does it all, Babsy. And you don't need batteries. Batteries included.
No ACLs included.
No, none of that. No.
We don't need them.
We don't need no ACL.
We don't
want them, like Mary Annie say. So, Babsy, I say all that to say, to help build my case even further, carries have been scarce for him. You think back to when 2016, when carries was split between DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry.
Oh, I forgot about DeMarco Murray.
Mm-hmm. DeMarco Murray, 293 carries is what he received that year. Derrick Henry, 110. Now, Derrick Henry's carries, 110 carries for 490 yards. Now, 4.5 yards a carry. Y'all know what? What my guy Tajay Spears carries are up to this point? His is 91 carries for 428 yards, 4.7 yards a carry. So before everybody says, hey, man, what's wrong with you? What are you talking about? Well, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm an eye test guy. But if I have to refer to numbers, I will. The same hooting and hollering, everybody was ready and cool with King taking over. It's the same numbers that Tajay Spears is putting up with less carries right now. So when it evens out, he will have the same year that King Henry had in his first year when he was splitting carries with DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray right now, King Henry is at 249 carries, 972 yards. DeMarco Murray was at 293 in 16 games with 1287. So, of course, they're going to have one more game because of 17-game schedule. So, if you were just to take 16 games with a garbage offensive line, you got to say that. Yeah. You got to say that. So, I'm saying all of that to say, if he was more of a premier staple in this offense, not even a premier back, what would it be? What would his production look like? Yeah. Would it be like the next year in 2017 when they decided to split some carries again and Derrick Henry went for 744 yards? Then it took 3 years to get to this point, y'all, before Derrick Henry got to that 215 carries, 1,000 yards, 4.9 carries. I'm saying if this young man was a premier staple in this offense, he would have, if not 900 yards, at least 1,000 yards, if he were a premier staple. Now, I want y'all to understand, this is why I said it's time for them to move on. This doesn't mean King is done. He doesn't have anything in the tank. I think King is done here for this team to evolve. That's my argument.
There you go.
May I leave the stand?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to take a break. We want to hear from you. talk about what Ron Slade just said. There's some comments in the chat that we can hit on as well because I want to jump in there. And then also your phone call. CJ will get you right after the break here, 615-737-1045.
Twitch, please. I want to tell you about my friends at Brentwood Jewelry. We'll be able to help you out. Just go down there and talk to Brandon, Salem, the Anomaly family. They will be able to help you. Just knock off your list. 7012 Church Street in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. They are open every day now during the holiday season, Monday through Friday from 9 until 7, Saturday from 9 until 5, Sunday 1 until 5. And I'm actually going down there tomorrow because I need some batteries replaced on a couple of watches and a new band on another watch. So I will be headed down to see my friend Brandon. Brentwood Jewelry can give you the experience you want. Like a surprise gift of that dream ring that she's always wanted at a price you can afford. Maybe you're looking for something custom and unique. You can consult with their custom designers or choose from their selection of fine jewelry, watches, and engagement rings, or bring the priceless heirloom that you have to them and let them transform that into a special gift that your significant other can wear every day. Let them create a personalized piece that is unique to the person you love and that you are giving that gift to. 7012 Church Street in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for more than 50 years. Visit BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Good afternoon. It is 4:02 from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. Titans making some practice squad moves, signing 5 players to their practice squad. Among them, tight end Devin Asiasi, linebacker Tay Crowder, defensive tackle David Moa, defensive backs Darius Phillips and Kendall Sheffield. Around the NFL, Vikings tight end TJ Hawkinson suffered a season-ending torn ACL and MCL versus the Lions this Sunday. His season is over. In Texans news, the Houston Texans have signed Kareem Jackson, claimed him off waivers from the Broncos, and he originally was drafted by Houston in the first round of the 2010 NFL Draft before joining the Broncos in 2019. In NBA news, the Ja Morant has been named the Western Conference Player of the Week in his first game back, or in his first week back from his 25-game suspension. Morant averaged 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? Welcome back into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone, locked and loaded and rolling with your people. We appreciate you guys hanging in there with us on this good Tuesday. It's somewhat a reaction Tuesday. You know, I've just stepped off the witness stand and given my testimony to strengthen the case of my gift unwrapping of Tajay Spears and knowing exactly what it was that I got. And I'm excited about it because to me it is more than just what was valued when I opened up the gift, if that makes any sense. I stand on the grounds of the king is done, people. And not the king is done as far as the king is done with what he has in the tank. I'm just saying as far as here goes with the Tennessee Titans, if they're looking to evolve and move forward into what a new game plan would look like. That's what I'm talking about. And I gave numbers before to back it up, you know, comparable numbers to Derrick Henry, his rookie year, compared to Tajay Spears, where he was sharing the ball with DeMarco Murray in relation to where Tajay Spears is sharing the ball with King Henry, and what offensive line he's running behind as well. So you got to take that into account. But I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys just exactly what you guys think. The phone lines are open, 615-737-1045. Another question that will be posed later in the show, give you some time to think about it. Do you think, or do you want Derrick Henry to be signed for less and come back in a reserve close-out role if that were to happen? Do you think King Henry would do that, knowing the prestige and premier back that he's carried along with the Titans all of this time? Babsy said no. Okay, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Babsy.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm here. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
TK said Big Slay gonna have people butt hurt today. Hey, yeah, TK, I'm just being honest. I watched this for a minute now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I tried
you've been all in this.
Yeah, I just like, you know, I had to go do the research and I looked at it, Babsy, and I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at the film. I'm an eye test guy. And for everyone to come off of the game Sunday and saying, man, Derrick Henry was really, he was back like himself. Was he though? Is my question behind this bad offensive line. So.
Let's check in with our phone line, 615-737-1045. You want to reply to Slay. We'll read some of the comments in the chat as well. But let's start in Greenbrier with CJ. Hey, CJ, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good, CJ.
Great.
All right. So I know you started out. I'll start it with Tajay Spears, Slay.
Okay.
So if you actually take into account all-purpose yards, without his kick return yards, you only have 743 yards.
Okay.
Derrick Henry, with the same amount of snaps, keep in mind, Tajay Spears is more of a receiving back. Derrick Henry is more of a load-the-box type of guy.
Gotcha.
Derrick Henry, with all of his snaps, same exact amount of snaps, has 1,186 yards. He only trails Tajay Spears by give or take 60 yards receiving. And I mean, that's as a front runner guy, but we've seen what we had with Tajay Spears.
Right.
I do agree with you that they need to continue forward doing this because he doesn't have the energy to continue going. And that's all I'll say.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, because on the second half of that question, do you think that you can get Derrick Henry to come back for lesser pay and a closeout role, if you will?
Me personally, I mean, looking at like the deals around the league, I would say, I mean, give him 2 years, $10 million. Yeah. I would say max though.
Right.
Like max is like 15, and that's really pushing it. Honestly, that's really pushing it because he's going to be 30 years old. He has to kind of come off that high horse to a degree. Yeah. He is good, but you got to understand whenever your time is done in the league.
Let me ask you too, because you brought up a great point with that, the total yards being including the kickoff. And I thought I said that you got to keep in mind he was on kickoff early in the season as well. But with Tajay Spears, I think that right there even leads even more into my point of like you don't know what to plan with him being in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think, you saw in the times yesterday, what was it? They had Tajay and Derrick Henry in the backfield at the same time. Third and 3, 1-on-1, stiff arm. They give it to Tajay Spears on the dump off, first down. Then if you wanted to run between the tackles, it was a cut made, man, that I mean was nasty. That a running back, downhill guy, brute strength guy just can't make. It was 3rd and 19. I don't know if you remember, Tajay Spears, he did a jump cut while he was in the hole, and he picked up 11 of the yards before the Titans had to kick the field goal. But it's plays like that keep the defense off balance. It's plays like that have him able to go and do a screen pass. You know what I'm saying? And you just can't account for all of it. So what he may lack in carries and brute strength, he may pick up in play action and dump offs and screen passes that he was an inch away from taking to the house, if that makes sense.
The one thing that I'll actually point out too, he has a good stiff arm just like Derrick Henry. I don't know if people seen it yesterday.
They haven't.
I can't remember the player.
Yeah.
He stiff-armed him pretty much out of bounds.
Yeah, that was the one I was talking about. It was third and 1, and they dumped it off to him. Yeah, it was big. It was big time, man. Appreciate that, CJ. Great call, dude. Merry Christmas, dog. Happy New Year if we don't talk to you. But, hey, man, call in more, dog. That was spot on right there. That was good.
Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, CJ.
No doubt, man.
All right, we're talking 22, Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears, and Tajay Spears was Ron Slay's pick for, we're going positive today, the present you open that you're like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Let's go to Clarksville. Mark in Clarksville. Hey, Mark.
Hello there, Dawn. How we doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. I got 2 things. I don't know if your producer will play it for me, but I had a song for Ron Slay, but he said he already played it. But
what?
I was going to have Alexander O'Neal, Sleigh Ride. Yeah, that was going to be your walk-up song.
I like that. Hey, guess what? Guess what? Real quick, when I did the SEC Network, I told them the only way I dress up as Santa is if y'all play Sleigh Bells. If y'all play that, so
is this it?
Yep.
Yeah, that is the jam.
That is the jam.
I like it. We'll come back on the next break with this.
Yeah, but here's my answer to the Derrick Henry question.
Okay.
Did Pittsburgh Steelers trade the bus? No.
No, they did not.
No, they did not. Derrick Henry is the identity of the Tennessee Titans. You ask him to come back, maybe take a pay cut, but you meet somewhere in the middle, you compromise. But he is a weapon still to this day. If we get an offensive line that is I'm gonna tell you, the one we got now can't block a gang of sloths.
Yeah.
You can end it if we get an offensive line, period.
Yeah.
Yes, if we can get an offensive line,
Yeah.
we can get Derrick Henry back to his second and third step to where he's running over people. He's still got some gas in the tank. He's the identity of the Titans. Every time I go out, watch a game at a sports bar, I see more Henry jerseys than I see anything else.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's spot on.
Bring him back.
Spot on. I appreciate that. Let me ask you this though: if when you're talking about Jerome Bettis, I don't believe the Bus was the premier back. I believe he was pretty much a closer as well for the Steelers, if I ain't mistaken.
At the end
of his career, when they and with them going to win the Super Bowl, they won it in Detroit. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I totally agree with you, but I just can't have the offense predicated or built around just Derrick Henry. Just because of the drop off a little bit, not drop off like he's done, but drop off a little bit. I think you see it on some plays where he gets tackled, he gets hit before in the back. Like, that's going to continue to happen. If Derrick Henry's in the backfield, they're not taking 8 out the box. I'm sorry, they're just not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And until you got an O-line that can block and create where he can get to the line of scrimmage and maybe run one over, it's still going to be, 10, 11 yards at the most if he just gets loose, because the guys are coming and hitting and taking them legs out too. So I just think as a change of pace, as a closer, like Jerome Bettis, hey, man, hell yeah. I'm all for that, because I wonder how much, I'm going to have to ask Savage, how much did Jerome Bettis lead into, hey, man, I want to retire with one franchise as well. I think that plays into it big.
Yeah, I believe we to bring him back as a closer, but I think Arthur Smith did a better job than what's the offensive coordinator
Kelly.
right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Tim
Tim
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Playing players to their skill set and looking at the offensive team as a unit and what they can do real good, because we didn't have any Tannehill complaints when Arthur Smith was here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And,
Appreciate that, brother.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you,
Merry
man.
Christmas to you. Thanks for the call.
Yeah. All right.
We're going to take a quick break. Lines are popping up. It's like popping people. These comments
Pimple
today.
popper.
Yes. Oh, that's my favorite.
I'm not
account.
just sickening.
Dr. Pimple Popper. Yes. So if you want in on this conversation, 615-737-1045. Like I said, a couple of comments in the chat that I want to hit on as well.
Okay.
And we'll get into all of that after the break here. The next segment is all yours. 104.5 The Zone. This is 3HL.
Upton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, that's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, new or pre-owned. These guys are going to be able to help you out. Maybe you've been looking around for a while. Maybe you've just started the process. Either way, if you're going from dealership to dealership, certainly include Daniel Gupton, King Gupton, the guys at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. If you are beginning that process, just start with them and you'll end with them. They're awesome people. They want what you want, you in the vehicle that's right for you. So if you need something with more space, if you need something with less of a cost, just tell them what you're looking for and they will be able to help you out. You can save up to 15% off select in-stock 2023 Ram trucks, 1500s, 2500s, and 3500s. If a new Jeep is on your list, you can save up to 15% on select Jeep brands during the Wrap Up the Year sales event going on now at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 24 West to exit 35 is about 9 miles outside the city, then a straight shot, a beautiful drive into the best vehicle buying experience you've ever had. 3450 Tom Austin Highway, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Welcome back into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone. We are rolling on this Tuesday, the 26th. And the good people that are traveling in and the people that are already here, family. We got some family traveling in, don't we, Babsy?
We do. Hey, hello to the Davenports.
Yeah.
They're listening. About 30 minutes out, rocking the minivan. I
That's
know.
right. Rocking the minivan. There's TVs in that minivan, too. I've been in
There
that
are
minivan.
TVs in their minivan.
What up, Dane?
By
That's
the
my
way,
guy. That's my era. That's my era right there.
that's right. That's
my
your
guy right there,
your
man.
basketball
Yeah.
era. So, Uncle Dane and Aunt Brandy and Demi and Dylan and the little puppy Chewy.
See, the only person I'm worried about in this visit
Is Chewy?
is Chewy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Chewy quite understands what he's about to get into.
Chewy's about to walk into chaos.
Like,
We have already decided that Big Boy, which is Patton, which is our rescue,
the
general who tries to eat everybody that comes to the house, he will have to stay in the bedroom for this
Oh, wow.
trip. Yeah, he doesn't like it when people
See,
come
that's what I was
house.
asking you, Babs. Are you gonna have a segregated house or integrated house? Like
I
you
mean,
segregating it?
It's going to be partially integrated. Partially.
Hey man,
So hi Davenports, drive safe. I'll see you soon.
What up,
after
Chewy?
the show. What up, Chewy?
be safe on this voyage right here, brother.
It is funny though. My dad, we call him Tom,
Yeah,
Big Tom.
That's my guy, Big Tom. bro.
Big Tom said that Chewy doesn't even know how to walk at this point because my little niece Demi carries him everywhere. So he's like never gonna learn to
Should
walk.
told Big
So-
Tom and them bring some of that pasta from our restaurant down there.
Ooh, it's so
Pasta
good. Told me better bring some wine.
The wine is good, too.
That's what we all need for the holidays. Hey, we got a good conversation going on here. Tajay Spears, Derrick Henry, whatever. And honestly, there's been a lot of chat, a lot of comments in the chat, Jason being one of them. I don't know. There's a bunch of people who have said this. It's okay, well, Tajay Spears has no knees. You're going to have to draft a running back, blah, blah, blah. I think they draft a running back regardless, don't you?
It's a 2 running back league anyway.
Like, no
that's
matter
what it is. Yeah, I don't care how long you have a workhorse. That workhorse is not going past 2 years. Like it's just not. Look at Josh Jacobs out there with the Raiders. It's the same thing. He got some money, but they looking to lighten the load, man.
So Jael said, well, we already have slim draft capital and people talking about drafting a running back for the second year in a row. But I feel like that's also a position at this point. It's been devalued so much with the way that the league has gone that you can get a running back in later rounds.
Yes, you can. Unless you're going to have one like a Saquon Barkley come along, or Bijan Robinson. But these guys are not a dime a dozen. Like, you know what I'm saying? And even they, we're going to see how long this lasts with this style of a Derrick Henry premier one running back guy running throughout the league and running rampant and producing in that nature.
And the Titans have already showed you that they're moving on from that
Yes,
smash
they
and
have.
mouth kind of
Yes, they
football.
have.
I saw somebody else say, "Oh, that was smash mouth football
Yeah.
time." The Titans, in the way that they have drafted, have showed you the fact that they drafted Tajay Spears, who is a versatile multi-down back. They've showed you where they're moving, the direction that they're moving into.
They wanted this to start earlier than this, though, Babs. They wanted this to start the last 2 or 3 years. The backup back just couldn't stay healthy. Outside of Deion Lewis, that was it. What was our guy?
Deion Lewis.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What was our guy that used to come to the Buffalo Wild Wings all the time?
From App State.
Yeah.
Darrington Evans.
Darrington Evans. They wanted to do with him. He couldn't stay
And
healthy.
that was another guy that was great at catching the ball.
You
in
feel
the
what I'm saying?
backfield, too. Yeah,
They
he just
wanted
couldn't
these
stay
guys.
healthy at all.
But now you got one that also they couldn't bring to it. It was running between the tackles. Like, that wasn't a strength of theirs. That is okay and balanced for Tajay Spears. He's proven that.
Yeah.
So that's my
People
only
are
pushback.
very worried about his knees, though.
Yes, and guess what, man? The man has been playing like
Can he handle the load kind of thing? But I know the list is long of the holes that the Titans have to fill. And we asked Jim Wyatt earlier, okay, besides offensive line, you have to address in free agency and the draft. What's the next position of need that you're going to have to fix? He mentioned wide receiver, too.
Yeah, it continues to be on the docket.
I mean, and Treylon Burks just can't stay on the field. And on top of it, when he is on the field, like, he needs to give you more.
Yeah, he does. And a lot of it's not on him. I mean, it's happening how the ball bounced. Like, even in Sunday's game, when he got hit with the ball thrown behind him, like, that was a clean hit in a sense. When Diggs hit him, and his head still bounced off the ground. And when he got on one knee, kind of shook his head. It's like, golly, man, like
he can't catch a break.
He can't catch a break. So
let's go to your phone call, 615-737-1045. Dallas and Nashville, you're up next, talking Derrick Henry, Tajay Spears, and all of that. How are you?
Hey, guys. Love the show. Y'all.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro.
It's very awesome. I totally agree with the Spears. Spears is up and coming. He's doing great. I do believe that we ought to at least keep Henry at least one more year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you this, and I'm telling you why. The guy's still a punisher. He still throws touchdown passes. The dude, he's a threat when he's in the backfield on any defense. They're always stacking the box because they're worried about him. And Levis don't care about stacking the box. He's going to stick in there and deliver.
Yep.
We're not going to find anybody at that value. And I think Spears will benefit from Henry being around another year. And Henry's still got a little tread on the tire. He's going to punish somebody. I think we get rid of him too early, and that's our problem. Our team gets rid of our good players too early. They go to another team, and they come back and burn us on a Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. It's like, why did we get rid of this guy? This guy still was good.
Mm-hmm.
Just hang with him for one more year. I mean, Henry ain't nothing wrong. You need to strip that whole offensive line, put your hands in the daggone crown rule bag, just pull out 5 more guys. They've got to be better than the ones we got.
Yep.
I mean, it's a grab bag. I know it is. But between the draft and free agency, we've got to come up with some better players. It's, you can't have two guys looking at each other when they're sacking Henry 3 yards in the background.
Absolutely.
And then people need to go. They're the ones that be on the chopping block. That's the issues that we need to address. Thank you for your time.
Real quick, before you go, you got to let me know, like, it's a two-way street. What if you're Derrick Henry and you're on board with him, you're his management, what are you telling him to take as far as money goes? Because you got money to play with, but you got other needs.
Well, that's my whole point.
Right.
It might not be.
It might not be the Titans.
It's not
the Titans may want him back. That's
really.
what I'm,
Yeah.
They might not be willing to pay what he wants.
There you go.
But if I'm Henry, I think he's got the heart and soul with this city, and I think they've done him right, and he's done us right, and I think he wants to prove a point. He just didn't have a chance this year. I mean, good Lord, he got murdered. Our quarterback got murdered. I mean, couldn't nobody in the backfield. Now, Brandon Spears was able to break loose, because that was just a new wave of our, thing. But you don't have to build the team around just Derrick Henry alone.
Yep.
With D-Hop, bring D-Hop back, good veteran, good leadership. We build around that. Now, that'd be great. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Thanks, you, Dallas. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas, y'all. Happy New Year.
Yes, sir.
Merry Christmas to you. The other thing I'll say about Derrick Henry, though, and this plays into the conversation on his future, is would he be okay with not being the number one, take all the carries, he's the dude back? Because throughout his entire career, how many times has Derrick Henry sat there and said, I am a better back when I hit that 20 carry mark? And obviously, the stats show it as far as wins for the Titans. When he hits 20 carries, it's a much better percentage. Now, part of that is because you're not playing from behind and you're running the football, right? But he has said that it takes him carries to get going. Like, that is Derrick Henry's game is this.
Yep.
Beat him down, keep going at him, bulldoze him, and then on that 18, 19, 20, up to 25 carry at the end of the game, there are business decisions that are made because you don't want to tackle Derrick Henry.
That's right.
So if that is not his role, if he's not the 20 to 25 carries a game back in this offense, if you're moving away from that and you want a guy who can catch out of the backfield and you want to be able to be more versatile and do different things offensively and you move in that direction, is Derrick Henry still advantageous on your roster?
I think it's a great question.
That's my issue with him, because you can't compare Derrick Henry to other backs that have done the same thing, or other backs that are aging backs and their game, because Derrick Henry's game is so different in how he runs the ball and how he punishes defenses, and how towards the end of the game, when you've had to tackle that dude 20 times, you think twice about having to tackle him the 21st.
You do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's part of what makes Derrick Henry go. He's said it. He's admitted it. And you see it game after game. And man, business decision, I don't want to tackle this dude again. You see his...
nobody want that. No, man, get them arms, them stiff arms out the way and all that stuff.
I don't want to be tackling this guy anymore.
Yeah.
So if he's not that, and if he's a split carry kind of back, and people are probably going to come back to me and say, but look, that's what he was at Alabama, early on and whatever else. But that was the point where he was kind of like, I am better when I am the back and I hit that 20 mark,
That's right.
So how effective would he be? How much could that help your offense if he's in a different role as a running back, if he's not the number one high volume carry guy?
Because
that's the problem.
If you tell me I get 25 touches a game, hell yeah, I'm going to average 20 points. You damn right.
Yeah.
Can I still average that same 20 with 13 touches a game? Remains to be seen.
Right. And
everybody that has those 25 touches want that. And you want that.
Yeah.
Like, you wake up every single day, I'm going to work, I get 25 carries. Hey, I can't wait to get back there. Yeah, you're going to make a business decision. Yeah, I'm going to be going. Talk about rhythm.
Yeah.
Rhythm and flow of the game.
It's all about.
Yes.
And that's part of the problem, too, with these two-back systems. Like, how do you find the rhythm? And I hear it in college all the time when they have 2 or 3 running backs. Like, okay, coach, how do you decide who gets the ball the most this game or that game when they're splitting carries? Oh, it's whoever has the hot hand. Is Derrick Henry that kind of a back?
Right.
And then I also want to point this out, too. This offensive line has been so bad, and I know we had Greg Cosell on. All he does is evaluate the film. He's adamant that Derrick Henry is not the Derrick Henry that he has been. Since that surgery, he's not the same Derrick Henry. He was adamant when we had him on last week that he thinks Derrick Henry's probably done, right? Or at least has to move into a different role moving forward. But how much of this, too, is the ridiculousness that is this offensive line? Because how many opportunities has Derrick had to run the ball this year where he's not hit behind the line of scrimmage? So there's a little part of me that's like, hold on, Cosell, hold on.
I agree. It's unfair to judge him on that. Yeah. But you got to ask yourself, is it going to get better overnight? Do we all expect this offensive line to get solved by next year, even with free agency? Me, I'm going out there and saying no. Should it be better? Hell yeah. Should you be able to go get at least 3 pieces, like foundational pieces, along with Skoronski, and be able to move forward and plug and go with 2 other spots? Yes, coming out of this free agency. That's what I believe. But does that mean that you may not have a problem at right tackle? Still may have a problem at left tackle. Unless you went and drafted those spots and had somebody there.
Well,
still may be growing pains
because of the misses on the offensive line.
Absolutely.
So you have 0 depth.
Absolutely. So
regardless
that's why you have
of
new
what you do, I mean, and you have to fix it in free agency because you didn't last year.
Yep.
And then it got worse.
Yep.
Crazy that it got worse. How in the hell did it get worse? I'm still amazed that it got worse.
It can always get worse.
But the difference this year, and this is what a lot of people forget,
is that we're at the bottom of the dumpster.
Well, that too. I mean, you're guaranteed a top 9 draft pick at this point. So at least you're out of the purgatory of 10 through 20, right?
Yeah.
So you're guaranteed top 9 draft pick, but the Titans will have the money in free agency to be able to do this.
And so that's the other thing. How many times in Derrick Henry's 8-year career have they had the opportunity to have money to go out and put pieces around 18? Not just Derrick Henry.
Not last year.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's another part of it, too.
Mm-hmm. Management is key in this whole situation.
Yeah.
Like,
do you want to see Will Levis the last 2 games at all? I mean, Mike Vrabel said today, Smiley, I think you have Mike Vrabel's comment on Will Levis. I think let's do number 6 and number 7. This was from today, Mike Vrabel talking to the media about Will Levis.
Will, I guess since last week, you're still hoping to get him.
I mean, I think he'll try to practice tomorrow. Probably in a limited basis, but I think that he's better. He's improved, and has been working hard to get back like everybody else.
You want to see him?
Only reason I want to see him, Babsy, is because you can't
manufacture
Yeah,
experience. Look at you, Coach Mack and us.
You just can't. You cannot. I mean, good gosh. As much 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 that we can go and practice, that whistle remains in the coach's mouth, and he will blow that whistle if they get close to that quarterback.
Yeah.
Just part of it.
Somebody in the chat, CR, why do you have faith they can fix the line since they weren't able to fix it last year? A couple of reasons. One, they don't have a Ryan Tannehill salary hanging over them. They got a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal.
Right.
They have, the second most amount of money available cap space wise in free agency. That is why I have faith that they will have the resources to be able to fix the line since they were not able to fix it last year because they actually have the money to do it this year because of how things are structured and because of some of the big contracts that are gone.
And so, and this is the other thing. We brought it up last week and the week before last.
It's also a better draft pick.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And this was my thing. Ooh, Babsy.
Sorry.
That was positive. I thought we were doing positive stuff.
Well, that is positive.
Okay.
Top 5 draft pick?
So this is our thing.
The 5th pick.
Ooh, that'd be something.
In the NFL draft.
TK just brought it back up in the chat. This is what I was saying. Like, how can you be a guy to take that stance with everyone else, getting people in a group chat, if you're going to be the running back that is the premier guy in the league in the face, and you say, you know what, I'll take the minimum.
Yeah, he's not doing it.
You can't do it.
He's not because he has stood on the mountaintop for running backs and how that they are unfairly paid nowadays. Derrick Henry is that guy. He started the group chat. He ain't taking less.
And I'll be hot at him. I'll be calling him. Hey, dog, what you? I thought you just said that we was trying to get
what
money.
Are you doing,
what you doing,
dude?
dog? Yeah,
that ain't happening.
Yeah.
All right, more of your phone calls, 615-737-1045. We got you right after this break. All right, the year is almost over and maybe need some cash. You want to pay off that holiday credit card debt that you have and be debt-free for the new year. Loan Pronto, that's who you need to call because they'll help you do it. Express Equity Line of Credit can get you $50,000, $100,000 out in as little as 5 days, too. You got the equity in your home if you live here. Anywhere in this area, really anywhere in the country. And Loan Pronto can help you turn that equity into cash. By the way, rates are lower right now as well. So let Loan Pronto help you there if maybe you're stuck in that like 12, 13 mortgage rate. Loan Pronto can do all of it. And with this equity line of credit, they can actually keep your primary mortgage intact. So if you already had the 3% rate, that's protected. Call Loan Pronto now. Let them help you out. Get the holiday cash you need or the New Year cash you need to pay off your debt. LoanPronto.com is your website. 615-499-5780. I love Loan Pronto. I've used them. They're great. LoanPronto.com, 615-499-5780. Loan Pronto, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Okay.
Smiley, what's
am
up
I
with this
crazy
song?
for asking what is this, Smiley? What are you playing?
You've never heard this song?
What? I'm sure I heard it. What is it?
Forget about me. Is this Derrick
Oh.
Henry?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know. Okay, it's always a rhyme to reason. I just gotta ask, man. Welcome back into 3HL, right? 104.5 The Zone. Led in by Smiley. But don't forget about Smiley.
We got some good. Don't forget. We got some phone calls. We got some people that want to weigh in on our conversation. So
Dying
let's
for
go
you to
ahead.
weigh in too.
Yeah, let's jump in
What
on
up?
it. You want to start in Hopkinsville?
Oh, Hoptown, yeah.
Hey, Kevin. How are you? You're up.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
Great show, y'all.
Appreciate you.
Hey, Don, you did a great job. You did the Duke-Troy game this
Yes.
weekend.
Yeah.
I thought you did a fantastic job as a sideline. I was glad to see them not send you someplace in the middle of the cold somewhere.
I know, right? Thanks, Kevin. So funny story about that. The original sideline reporter got sick, so I found out like less than 24 hours before that game that I was going to work it. So that was a quick prep, but luckily it was Birmingham, so that wasn't too far to drive.
Hey, man, it was a great game, too.
Yeah, it was. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Maybe I'm in the negative, but I want them to keep Derrick Henry. I'm going to tell you why. It's purely sentimental reasons. It seems like the Titans and the Oilers have a history of always letting players go right before they retire. And I'll give you some examples. Eddie George was with the Cowboys, 1 or 2 years before he retired. Steve McNair went to the Ravens for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, even go back, Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell went to the Saints, I believe, right at the end of his career. So
Jarrell Casey, the Broncos.
It just seems like, Derrick Henry's done an excellent job for the Titans. He's been a positive for the community. He's been a good role model, I think. So if the Titans have plenty of money set aside for salary cap next year, under the salary cap, and plus big thing, they have a lot of holes they got to plug next year. If they let Henry go, they're going to have to get another running back anyway. So why not just keep him a couple of years? Like you said, Derek, do the Jerome Bettis thing, final tour, if he's willing to do it for a reasonable price, and bring him back, and let's see what we got. Build up the line, plug in some more pieces up elsewhere. That's just my opinion.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin,
Appreciate it.
that. I say I like where Kevin going with it. I think what gets overlooked at times is the fact that it has to work on both sides. Like, yes, the Titans, it may come down to the Titans. Do the Titans want him? Yes, the Titans want him, but at the same time, does Derrick Henry want to remain a Titan for whatever X sum amount is?
Right.
Like, that's the toughest part, man, especially when you came out and championed running backs.
What is the if you're looking at that kind of a role?
Say it again.
You're looking at that kind of role for Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking? $4 million?
See, this is
Maybe
where
less?
it gets dicey for me.
It depends
because
on if you look at him as a starter or a backup.
And you're not bringing him back as a starter.
You're not. You're not.
Me,
If you're the
I'm not
Titans, you're
personally. Me,
absolutely
Ron
not.
Slade. No,
Right.
I'm not.
Right.
But if he told me, hey man, I'm cool with taking lesser snaps and making this more about Tajay, but I would still, for my career, let me remain a starter. I'm cool with that. You can start the game, but it's about Tajay. Now, when we get up, listen to this. Listen to this, Babsy. Let me see if let me see. I've been digging in. I've been digging in the crates, Babsy. With Vrabel.
I just also want to remind everybody, it's a business.
It's most definitely a business, Babsy.
There are no emotions.
And I highlighted the business.
It is a business. That's why Ryan Tannehill's the backup right now. That's why,
I can't find it.
Unfortunately, A.J. Brown is with the Eagles. It is a business.
So on how much of their inability,
why Kevin Byard is gone.
Bingo.
Business.
See, and I'm to Kevin's point. I'm sentimental about that too. Like, it was only certain jerseys that I was gonna go buy. I went and bought Kevin Byard because I was for sure. Like, let's let him finish up here. He's a leader, but I understand if he had to leave, give me somebody in good standing, a foundational piece to the Titans. I went and bought Big Jeff. I went and bought Derrick Henry's jersey.
Who's
I went
young,
yeah,
be there.
that's the guy.
He's
like
the
you know,
guy.
he's a pillar. You
They
know
don't
what I'm
make
saying?
those guys on
No.
every day. Yeah.
Derrick Henry, for who Kevin just talked about. And the other one was Traylon Burks. High draft pick, I expect him to be around mold to be able to stay there.
Do you still feel that?
That's no.
Oh.
And I'll take it back. Yes, I do. But he got to show me. He got to show me.
I don't know if I do.
He got to show me, Babsy. He got to show me. At some point, you
He's
run
gotta
out
be
of.
on the field.
Yeah,
to show
and you
you
run out of. It's not my fault. I don't keep telling Patton to keep running into the glass door when the mailman come up at a deliver pack. You know he's coming to deliver a package. That door's not open, and stop running into that door.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at some point maybe it'll break, but and you'll
might.
be free. But, don't do it. But this is my thing, Babsy. On how much of their inability to finish off close games is due to not being able to salt a game away by running the ball with Derrick Henry late in games. This is from Vrabel. Certainly grinded out the clock. Let's get past all that. I don't know how many times we've done it this year. Certainly not enough. But when you're down, you don't have the luxury to do that. Like we used Derrick Henry to go down there the other day and score, and you didn't get a stop. Didn't get a stop defensively. So then we're back into a 2-minute mode, and that's not Derrick. That's not how he operates. That's not his primary role. We know that. Now, if we're up 6, 7, 8, 10 points, we're going to rely on Derrick and the run game and all that stuff to help us find a way to get down there in the 4-minute and all that. And we talk about in 4 minutes about the penalties and stand in bounds. Just all of the reminders that we talk to them about in 4 minutes. We just haven't been able to do that in 4 minutes enough. You got to be winning to do that. So is this formula a part of winning? Yes, when you're up, you can give Derrick Henry the ball. So, yes, he has a role.
But it's not one that you're going to pay a lot for.
Okay.
That's my take.
That's what you take
it's
from
right there.
Yeah, it's in black and white.
Yeah. I mean, it's been said. Read between the lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying. That don't mean Derrick Henry's done.
If you listen to Greg Cosell, is.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with him being done overall. For the Titans, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Lots of phone calls. We will get to you. Entire 5 o'clock
It's
hour
on you.
is you. Happy Tuesday to you. Merry Christmas.
Baby.
Happy holidays. Hope everybody is safe out there. You got to spend some time with loved ones. And we're glad you're with us here today. 5 o'clock hour for 3HL is next. Stick around.
What's happening, folks? You know winter is here. Yes, and that's not coming. It is here. It's knocking at your door. Some places it's peeking around the corner. And you got to be prepared because when the storms roll in, we just had to experience one, man. If you didn't have a generator, this is the opportunity to get ahead of it and don't be left out in the cold this season. Call Cove Generators today. They can take care of you because that's all they do when it comes to Generac home standby generators. And they got portable generators as well, Babs.
Yes, so maybe you need one of those. They can take care of you there as well. Cove Generators, you hear it in their name. That's all they do. And they are your premier Generac home standby generator dealer. Maybe you already have a generator and it's not working. Or, when you needed it, you went to use it and it wasn't ready. Well, Cove Generators monitors your generators for you to make sure they're ready. And they also perform maintenance on any generator or your Generac automatic standby generator. Call them today, 931-559-3311, or go visit them, covegenerators.com.
Stay connected through it all.
Good evening. It is 5:01 from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. Titans adding some players to their practice squad, a total of 5. Tight end Devin Asiasi, linebacker Tay Crowder, defensive tackle David Moa, defensive backs Darius Phillips and Kendall Sheffield round out the list. The Titans' opponent this week, the Texans, also making a move as they claim safety Kareem Jackson off waivers from the Broncos. Kareem Jackson played for the Texans from 2010 through 2018 as he was drafted in the first round out of Alabama. Joined the Broncos in 2019, has been suspended twice this season for a total of 6 games for illegal hits. Around the NFL, Vikings tight end TJ Hockenson suffered a season-ending torn ACL and MCL versus the Lions, per Ian Rappaport. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome into 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? We are rocking and rolling on December 26th. Yes, indeed. We are live on your airwaves. And I hope everybody enjoyed Christmas, enjoying family and friends. We sure did. We love to hear about your experiences. We've been talking about all day on the F&M Bank Chat, where they've been adding in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
That's right. And the phone lines are loaded. We told you we were going to get straight to it. We're talking about gifts that you unwrap, and all of a sudden that gift is something that surprised you.
A good surprise.
A great surprise.
We're all about positivity here on this
right.
day after Christmas. Look, I got my my sweater on that
you were
says
almost naughty, though, Babs.
on the nice list. Yes, it switches to naughty
Mm-hmm.
if I want it to. I guess I could switch
Switch
it for this segment.
No, I thought we were nice.
Oh, yeah. No, we're nice.
Yeah,
Let me switch
nice.
it back.
Yeah, stay nice, Babs.
We're nice.
Yeah. That's Babsy, y'all.
What's up? Smiley.
104.5 The Zone AI. On the T-Dot Smartway map, there appears to be a meteor approaching downtown Nashville. No, wait. Scratch that. No need to check for weather alerts. This appears to be a Babs native. She's coming in hot. Entering the studio in 3, 2, 1.
Let's
go. Davenport.
Happy Tuesday to you. Glad you are with us. Mayor is on assignment. He's on a little Christmas assignment. But my guy, Ron Slay, is here.
I'm in the building.
So, Smiley, what is this?
Engaging no roof protocol.
Oh, we're going AI for the 5 o'clock
This
hour.
show ain't got no roof. In T-minus 3, 2, 1.
Ronald.
Welcome, Ronald Sylvester Slay.
My guy going to be with that.
AI is all the rage right now.
That's right.
Shout out to Rhett Bryan of Titans Radio. He does all our intros for us and a whole lot more at this station. That is for sure. He's the best. Yes. Real quick, I just want to address this because it was floating around an Instagram screenshot allegedly from Joe Milton saying that, he's not going to play in the bowl game and he's going to work to get ready for the NFL, blah, blah. I don't know if he's going to or not. Who knows? But that Instagram screenshot is fake.
Yeah.
That is making the rounds. That is not on Joe Milton's actual Instagram. We went and double checked. It is a fake screenshot of his Instagram. Speaking of AI, right?
Boo.
It's photoshopped, all of those things. So Joe Milton has not announced that he is not playing in the bowl game. That is, in fact, a fake screenshot. Why do people do that?
Just trolling.
Like, why is that fun? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. They want to get a rise.
You know what? I'm going to put fake information out. This is fun.
Look at this.
Maybe I can catch somebody.
Like, ha, ha, ha.
Stupid.
Boo.
See, that's where we should put naughty on the sweater.
Right.
Don't do that crap.
Yeah, you're being naughty.
All right, let's check in on our phone line, 615-737-1045. A lot of Titans talk today. Moving forward, we're actually looking ahead to free agency, draft, next 2 weeks. Will Levis come back? Who knows? Andrew in Smyrna, you are up next talking Derrick Henry, Tajay Spears, and that whole situation. How are you, Andrew?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, I just had a question to Slade out on Henry.
Mm-hmm.
What team do you think will use Henry the way he want to be used? 25 carries now. Is there a team he could go to do that? I'm a Henry
That's a
fan,
great
so
question.
I'd love to see him here.
Yeah,
That's a great question.
I think it's a great question. I don't think when
know.
it comes to 25 carries, I think the only team that is kind of built like that up front, but they have a franchise quarterback and who probably could possibly be the MVP in Lamar Jackson, I think would be Baltimore, because you know what I'm saying, they have no problem with milking that clock. Once they get a lead, we've seen it even when it's 3rd and 8. Like, they send everybody deep, have a check down, and let Lamar go get the 8 yards, and he's fine with doing it. I'm sure that they would love to be able to hand the ball to Derrick Henry and go pick up 4 or 5 yards or whatever and have no problem at all with doing it. But I think you look at that situation, that it's somewhere with the franchise quarterback, and do they have the bread to pay it? When you talk about durability, I think he would be great for them as well. You know what I mean? As much as we hate Baltimore, but as many – like, I got Gus Edwards right now carrying the load because they had so many running backs go down with ACLs, Achilles, and so forth and so on. That right there is only the kind of – and maybe the only one that I can see that style. Anyone else, I think when you talk about teams with championship aspirations, I can't think of a team that's kind of built around the running game outside of Baltimore. And even they had to go get weapons to have threats on the outside. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they also have Lamar.
Yeah, they got a different dude right there.
Right,
you know
they
what I'm
got
saying?
a different dude at quarterback who can do a whole lot of things.
A whole lot. But yeah, that's a great question. So I would like I wish he was still online. I would ask him, like, where do you see him fitting in, not taking less and being a guy that said I wanted 25 carries?
I feel like he didn't. That was why he was asking that question.
Okay, yeah.
And
I think that's
I'm
a great
with him.
question. Yeah,
and especially if Derrick Henry is done,
it can pass you over, Babsy.
Right.
It
happens fast
it
too,
does.
doesn't it? I feel like it just happens like that. Like,
it does. Yep.
Man.
It does.
All right, Tony the Stud in Hendersonville. Hey, Tony, how are you?
Good. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, folks.
Merry Christmas to you.
I wish I would have gotten me some nice checkerboard orange and white shoes with my name on them. I'm pretty jealous about that gift.
That's a good one.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, glad to hear you and Ron on the radio today. Merry Christmas. I just want to pop off that Derrick Henry thing y'all been talking about all afternoon about kind of where you think he's at, whether he's done or not.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I would rebuttal on that is I think it's difficult, or I would say more difficult this year to assess what he's able to do or been able to accomplish, as well as other players on the team based on the offensive line play.
Yeah.
I think with better offensive line play, obviously, I think you're getting different schemes. You're able to do different things, and just the effectiveness of the offense, I think, would flow a lot better. Plus, with it being a rookie quarterback, I just think there's a lot more things that go into Derrick than just Derrick being of old age. In my personal opinion, I think he's still got it. It showed last week he's able to pop off, and thanks to my friend Brooke for taking me to the game, was able to make it out to Nissan Stadium this past weekend for that Seahawks game. But
nice.
he looks fine to me. I just think that as an offense, you need a lot more pieces to be valuable. And right now I don't see the offense as having enough valuable pieces to make assessments on individual players on that side of the ball right now. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, guys.
Thanks, Tony.
So
yeah, that's a part of it too. But like, does Derrick Henry still have it? Because before Sunday, he had 16 carries for 9 yards.
Mm-hmm. And my thing is, Babsy, okay, if that's the case, and that's cool, I feel the same way. I think it's unfair in a sense to judge him.
Yeah.
But does Derrick Henry have the time to wait around for the offense to get fixed, the offensive line to get fixed,
Well, they sure as hell better fix it for next year, Slay.
And that's what I'm saying. So, okay, now on the flip side of that, does the team have time to say, okay, King Henry, we're going to pay you this money. We may not get the production that we're looking for, but just hang in there with us, man. Give us a year or two, and we're going to have this offensive line back. So 2 years go by, and we expecting to go get 1,500 yards again?
No.
Sometime, at some point, Babs just said it happens fast. You got to move on, man. It's part of that. Don't mean he done. That's why I said he's done with the Titans. That's it. Like I just can't. You can't wait around, man.
They're not
because
gonna pay him.
while you're waiting around,
No
to try to
matter
fix
how
this
much
O-line,
Miss Amy loves him.
right? What are the Texans doing? What are the Colts doing? What are the Jags doing? Like while you're waiting to try to get something right for a guy that is about to walk out the door at any minute, like is. Regardless if he wants to or not, like he's not LeBron. Like this ain't the NBA. They've taken the game out as far as protecting quarterbacks and hits. But you get in them trenches and you run that ball, oh, it's war, and you get them hits. So I can't see them. You would be a fool in business to wait around. That's where I am. And that don't
Jerry
mean
Maguire. I know it's show me the money, but it's business, not personal.
I mean, that's
the quote?
Is business not pleasure, or
I
don't know. Who knows?
Whatever, it's business.
It's business, y'all. Yeah, that's
just why Kevin Byard's not here.
Yep, moral of the story. Like I think everybody to a human being has a soft spot in their heart for Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
no question about it.
No doubt. Love him.
Yeah, and I think it's
love what he has done in this community.
Yeah.
Love what he's done for this team.
No question.
Love his quiet leadership.
No question.
That you randomly see in behind-the-scenes locker room videos because you certainly don't ever feel it.
Yeah.
Right, just from his press conferences.
Yeah.
But then you see in the locker room, and he is the dude.
Right. And this team isn't.
See him on the sideline.
Forget this team. This franchise isn't relevant without his face. Mm-hmm. Nationally. Without going to an AFC championship, whatever. Like,
without the stiff arms that go viral.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, so salute to that. But you can get caught in that time capsule if you want to and be talking about what you were in high school. You know what I mean? What you were 4 or 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Trying to get that old thing back. And that old thing ain't coming back, man, because everybody else is evolving around you. And you still chasing that dream. Some point, man, if he not ready and the team ain't ready, a lot of times it's perfect timing, man.
It's not show friends, it's show business.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right. Oh, lost my ball.
It's not show friends, it's show business.
Show business, Babsy.
That is correct. All right, this is 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. The rest of your phone calls, if you want to hang on the line, we will get to you after the break. And then I am also going to give my little
you ain't gave your
surprise. I like this gift. Look at this. Yeah, that's coming. I think Smiley's got one too. We've got the rest of the 5 o'clock hour. We got plenty of time here. 615-737-1045. Thanks for hanging with us.
That's right. What's happening, good people? Ron Slay here, man. Holistic stem cell therapy. That's what I'm dove into. You can dive into the same exact thing. And why wouldn't you? When you start to think about how do you heal yourself? You know that controversial stem cell stuff you've been hearing? Nah, this ain't that. This is your body, your cells. That's right. So it's your solution. You know that the stem cells, they can be harvested. That's what happens at KellamStemCellInstitute.com. You store them for future and continued use. The cells are your body's own healing cells, harvested and redeployed based on your needs. The stem cells are known, this is factual, to attack inflammation in the body. And we know that, and I know that because I went out there and tried it. Man, knee was aching. Oh, man, I'm talking about over years of playing on concrete, man, banging in the paint, in the boom boom room, locking the door on people, shoulder hurting them, popped out 2-3 times. Man, I got my stem cell treatment, and woo, Ooh, I've been popping. Get your consultation today, 615-850-4415, 615-850-4415, KellumStemCellInstitute.com. Welcome back in to 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone, man. Almost close to wrapping it up, man. And letting everybody get back to their gifts and everything and whatever else may be, the leftovers that you're going to eat. A little bit of everything, man. But hoping family that got in safe, man, and family just hanging out with us. Hope you got them around the TV and watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Make sure you stay tuned to 3HL at 104.5 The Zone all day during your holidays. We will be here every single time. And you don't want to miss it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you that right now. But, Babsy, You want to get to these calls, or you want to reveal your gift
Sorry,
that you?
my headphones just fell off.
Yeah, like get it together.
Disaster.
I like it. I like your Nadia nice sweater. You're still in the Christmas spirit with the Santa Claus hat.
The green Santa
The
Claus
green
hat.
Santa Claus hat with red earrings, as an accent to it. I like it. I like what you got going. Okay.
Oh, and I got my rhinestone shoes on.
Oh, let me see. Oh, yep. There we go. Look at that. See?
I think I just pulled a hammy.
Yoga, baby.
Oh.
Yoga.
Gotta work on that.
Goat yoga. Will you reveal?
We'll do calls.
Oh.
What?
All right, come on, calls. What you got for us, Babs?
Pulaski. Todd in Pulaski.
What up,
Hey,
Todd?
Todd. How are you?
Hello, guys. How y'all?
Doing good,
Good.
brother.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
I just
Christmas.
wanted to talk about the Derrick Henry conversation y'all was having a few minutes ago with the guy about Baltimore. And first of all, I want to say I think that Derrick is the all-time face of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I know you could put Steve McNair up there and Eddie George and Frank Wyatt, but what he's done for this organization and the leader he is and the person he is off the field, I just think that says something that he's in my opinion, the all-time face of the franchise. And 50 years from now, we'll look back and we'll think of King Henry. But that being said, I do think there's a couple, 3 organizations that he may not get that 25 carry load a game, but that he would automatically make them. All 3 of them are already Super Bowl contenders, but he would be that diamond in the rough that would help the organization tremendously, and they have the coaches and the coaching staff to use him in the right way. And the 3 teams that I'm thinking, and listen to you guys' response, is Kansas City, Baltimore, and Cincinnati. I think that Derrick's going to be an AFC guy all the way, and I think any of those 3 teams he would make a big difference on.
Okay. Thank you,
Appreciate that,
Todd.
bro.
Appreciate it. Kansas City, Ravens, Cincinnati. Kansas City. All of this comes down to money.
Mm-hmm.
All of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think Derrick Henry still has it and can make a difference and be used properly.
And any one of those teams that probably have Super Bowl aspirations are probably kind of strapped for cash.
Right.
So,
because you're paying a quarterback.
yeah.
Cincinnati and Kansas City, look at what they're paying their quarterback.
And you just in Cincinnati, you just gave your running back money. You just gave Mick some money. So, like you're on that. Don't forget the platform you're on. Don't forget the text threads you're on. Don't forget this was a 2 to 3 week long discussion about running backs and the devalued
of the position.
Yeah, don't forget about that. Don't like that. And to me, that has to play a part somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
It somehow, some way has to play a part. So keep all that in mind too. I agree with you. Can he be a piece? Man, it ain't no doubt he can be a piece behind somebody. It's no question.
I think there's a question.
Can he be a piece for someone outside of the money?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't think he got nothing? What you think, he on a quarter tank?
Mm-hmm. I think it happens fast.
It does happen
think
fast.
that we haven't been able to see it this year because the offensive line is so bad. But I think in the glimpses where we have seen him, it was not the same Derrick Henry. And I did not say that. I didn't say that coming into the season.
You see, I done scooted my chair by putting my bib on. This time
I did not see that. No, I never said that at the start of the season.
No,
I said
you did
Derrick
not.
Henry is Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Stop playing.
Yep.
Don't talk about him, taking a step back. It's not true. But then on a couple of his longer runs, I think the old Derrick Henry is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I think now Derrick Henry, post-surgery, at this age in his game, has taken a step back.
So you like Tajay
Now,
Spears now?
that doesn't mean he's done in the league. Don't get me.
Yeah.
Don't put
No,
me on that.
yeah. That's yeah.
But yes, I do. So
I like that, Babsy.
and I wouldn't pay him.
Not a shame on you.
What?
Not a shame on you.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations to you.
I wouldn't pay him.
You wouldn't pay him.
No.
I wouldn't either.
Nope.
$3 million.
And here's the other problem.
$3 million.
You're the Titan. Yeah. 100%. Would he take that? No.
No, you can't take that.
It's a similar conversation with Ryan Tannehill too. Like, I mean, I think it'd be great to have Ryan Tannehill as your backup quarterback behind Will Levis, help to mentor the kid and help him. I know they have a good relationship, whatever else, and everybody wants to go back to Ryan Tannehill's comment back in the day of I'm not here to mentor or teach. It was after they drafted Malik Willis. Everybody remembers it. And Ryan Tannehill made the comment in a press conference, I'm not here to mentor or teach, somebody else or whatever. I think you have to remember the point in time when that was said.
Right.
It was him coming off that heartbreaking postseason performance. He admitted he had to go to therapy. He really struggled with the way that year ended. They come in, they draft a quarterback. He knew it was coming.
Yep.
Even if you play his sound from that, it wasn't like, it wasn't I'm not a role model kind of thing. It wasn't anything like that. I almost
not to
felt
be
like
taken out of
it
context.
was. I'm not saying that it was said and taken out of context with how it was said, but it wasn't as big of a I'm not helping him kind of thing as people took it to be.
It was because of what he was coming off of.
Right. And I think that's where, people are like, oh, Ryan Tannehill, he's not going to help anybody. I felt like that was just and it had nothing to do with Malik or Will or whatever. Back then it was Malik. It had nothing to do with the player, the kid, any of that. It had everything to do with where Ryan Tannehill was coming off of and how he had struggled personally coming off of that.
That's right.
That's where it came from.
Agreed.
So I think that Ryan Tannehill would be glad in his next, kind of step but for him, he probably thinks he's still a starter somewhere, right? Because they all do.
Yeah,
all professional athletes don't think. That is the hardest thing is admitting when your career's over.
Hell, yeah. I'm going to tell you right now.
This.
Like you're too competitive. We talked about it Friday with Bully. It's just different, man. Usually the injury. That's why the injuries usually take guys out of their game, because
it's after a surgery, it's after an injury, and you're like,
all right, dog. Now I ain't fighting to get back. That's some of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like shoot.
Wait, I got to work this hard.
Yeah.
I got to work even harder now as I'm older to try and make it back. Yeah. But anyway, so it's the same conversation. Does Derrick Henry think he's a backup? Is he okay with stepping into that role? I doubt it.
Yeah.
Does Ryan Tannehill think he's a backup next year? Is he okay with stepping into that role?
I don't think he thinks it, but his arm shows it. Yeah.
You think he's
that arm.
It's time.
That arm, that was what I saw Sunday was disappointing. That was disappointing.
I thought it was interesting. What was Buck's poll that he did earlier? Because I was listening a little bit to Buck Rising earlier here on the Zone, and he put out a poll about Ryan Tannehill, right?
Yes, it was. 1 second.
And it was about Sunday's performance.
With Tannehill?
Yeah, of Ryan Tannehill. Like the poll, if you don't listen to Buck, every single day they do polls at the very end of the show, different topics and subjects and whatever else. But the question was what?
How did Ryan Tannehill perform relative to fans' expectations?
Yes.
And the choices were as expected, underperformed, or exceeded.
So what was the final numbers on that?
68% as expected, 29% underperformed, and 3% exceeded.
Wow.
The 3% you just have on your Titan-colored Ryan Tannehill glasses. But cool. I was shocked that it was 68% as expected. Is that because, A, nobody has high expectations from Ryan Tannehill anymore, or did we watch a different game? Because I thought he performed worse than I expected from him.
Underwhelming.
That's what I thought.
And honestly, I think overall, and once you saw what Will Levis went out there and did, I thought it was underwhelming for a season, even the time he did get. And I hate to say that because we were all on board like this.
I was all on board for Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, like this is his year.
I went at people that had Ryan Tannehill hate at the beginning of this season. I mean, I went at them. I'm like, this dude can still play.
Yeah, that ain't the throws being missed, the holding of the ball, the timing
the
of
end
it.
of the game.
That was wild. That was wild.
And I know, I get it. it's hard to do anything when you have zero protection. I get it.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But I just thought the decision making and all of that towards the end of the game, to me, and I know he hasn't played, right, because Levis took over, but I was underwhelmed.
Man, the throws,
Big time.
man, the behind throws, the throwing the traffic to Chris Moore, the putting it behind Burks, is maybe it is timing, but it was underwhelming to me.
Yeah,
I was expecting I wouldn't win, and they almost did win, so I can't say, but I think they almost won because of the defense. Them getting
the Titans,
stops, yeah.
Well, and also you're facing a team that, on a short work week, just had to travel across country.
Yeah, they just looking to get the win.
A really emotional win, so
they looking just against a
there's
really good
no way
Philly
they
team.
should have won that game.
Yeah, I agree.
Somebody said, did Dawn watch Derrick Henry Sunday? Yeah. And I still feel that way.
Mm-hmm. I did too. That's how I got to this conversation.
I mean,
that's
4.6 yards per carry.
If we got
it's the moments, right? It's the little moments. Now, I'm not saying maybe my expectations of Derrick Henry are too high, right? And so when I look at it,
no. That's where he set that bar.
He did. He set the bar.
No, it ain't you being high.
That
no.
guy.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's what we expect. And my whole thing is, Babsy, if we coming in and we're oohing and ahhing over 19 carries for 88 yards, I'm not oohing and ahhing that. Like that's not. I'm straight on that. To pay a person to come back. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
an older guy when your offense is clearly shifting.
We don't expect if we ain't really finna be nothing, if we ain't transitioned or anything like that, hey, let's bring them back so we can remain relevant.
Yeah.
And have a face of the franchise. Yeah.
So our question to start the day here on 3HL was we wanted to stay positive. I don't know if we accomplished that today, but yes, we wanted to stay positive. I talked about, you open a present and you didn't know it was coming, and it's like a great surprise because it was really thoughtful and you loved it. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is a great present. Who is that for the Titans this year? Biggest surprise on this team this year. And we're all about the positivity. You said Tajay Spears, which is what
how we got
just threw us into this Derrick Henry, Tajay Spears running back discussion all day today, which has been fascinating too. Thank you for everybody who's called.
Yeah, most definitely.
Has gotten involved in this. Murphy, I see you on the line. I'll come get to you. But my biggest surprise on the team this year was Danico Autry.
Okay.
Because he didn't pull a Tierra Tart, right? He, he knows he's going into his big time money contract deal, right? He was there. He held down the fort. He didn't whine. He didn't complain. He did everything right. He's effective even when Big Jeff isn't out there. He makes Big Jeff better when Big Jeff is out there. But yes, so all of that to be said, Danico Autry was mine. Now, he's about to be, 34 years old?
Yeah, July 16th.
Walking into his
11th season.
Free agency as an older guy. Yep. So, can you bring him back? I don't know what's he going to demand money-wise out on the market. There's something to be said for that. But that guy, I just thought he fits the culture. He did things right. And like I said, he didn't pull a Tierra Tart on us either.
Right.
I just think he's been the pleasant surprise, even though we knew what he was and what he had. Yep. He continued to do it even through the struggles this year. So Danico Autry was mine.
I think that's good, Babs. I think when you look around and you start to get so you lean on guys like Harold Landry being there and being consistent. You saw what Rashad Weaver brought last year. You wanted to see these guys to be able to take a step. And they didn't. Arden Key, him replacing Bud Dupree. You wanted to see, production, show me in the numbers as well. as just the eye test on the field. And Danico answered that. So I'm on board with that right there, man. To go out there and get 11.5 sacks in a season where you're on the field just as much, it seems, as you were last year because of the offense. Like, you go out there and show production. And
probably more.
The timing of some of his sacks and tackles for loss, like that's huge. Without Big Jeff, too, like you said. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm on board for that one.
That's a great point. Let's go to the phone line, 615-737-1045. We'll get Smiley's in a little bit, his little pleasant surprise. Let's check in with Murphy, though, from the Borough. Hey, Murphy.
What's happening?
How are
Murph?
I'll make it quick. Dawn, really enjoyed watching you the last week or two. You were everywhere in the country. It was fun watching. And
thank you. Appreciate
you. Did a great job.
Appreciate that.
Slay, I hope everybody has a good new year. My glass is half full because of Spears and Will.
I like it.
It's half full, baby, and it's rising. And, hey, if I'll let y'all go, make it quick, but maybe Vrabel's listening. Last game of the season, can we have a home run throwback? See you, buddies.
Oh, I like it.
I do too.
Thanks, Murphy, for the call.
Thanks, Murph. I ain't mad at that. Let's.
See, glass is half full.
Yeah.
Is that where Titans fans are? Like, is glass half full? Sometimes I look at our chat and I'm like, good Lord, glass is not half full.
It seems not to be, but I'll tell you what always refills it, at least to the halfway point, is games like Miami.
Vrabel needs to go.
Let's see.
Dawn's reaching. That's why she pulled a hamstring. Slay, you act like Spears is the new Marshall Faulk. He had a good rookie year, but I'm not seeing the all-pro back you seem to be drooling over.
Yeah, and guess what, man? To your point, I don't think I ever said he was all-pro back or any of that. I did say, though, that he's giving you the same production that King Henry was giving you in his rookie year, and it took 3 years for Derrick Henry to emerge and be that guy. I think with the carries and things of all-purpose, like speaking of, this guy is a dangerous guy. He runs between the tackles. He has breakaway speed. He can line up in the slot. He can also split out. He's taking screens. He's shown that he can run the ball and get the hard, tough yardage. He also showed that he can stay in and block, which is a thing that a lot of running backs had to learn. And you got to think doing all of this when you're not the premier guy on that list of other guys as far as rookies go, they're kind of in the systems – not necessarily built around them, but when they've been able to have the keys to these systems. When you look at Puka Nacua for the Rams, when Cooper Kupp was out, his role didn't diminish at all. When Cooper Kupp came back, he's still been that guy. You look at Bijan Robinson with the Falcons. He's been that guy since day one of stepping on there. Jahmyr Gibbs, they were able to move on from DeAndre Swift because Jahmyr Gibbs was able to take on that load, and you see where they are. So he's fourth on this list. So compared to the other rookies where it is a system not necessarily built around them, but they are intricate in that system and it moving and the production-wise, hell yeah. I'm on board with Tajay Spears and what he's doing. So, man, yeah, that's my take on that one. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, though. DJ Bliss, my man. We got another call? Or we out?
No, we are good. Jael, by the way, earlier in the chat said, what are y'all going to say when the same O-line is starting the season next year? I will stand right here. Jackson Smiley, you can record this and we can play it back.
Pull this one.
There is no way on God's green earth that they start this same O-line next year. No way.
No way possible.
I will pay you $1,000 if the starting lineup for the offensive line is what it is this year. No way in hell.
Possible.
They have way too much money in free agency. They know they have to fix it. They've got a young quarterback that they feel is the future of this franchise right now, or at least they're hoping he's the future of this franchise right now, who has had zero protection this year. I don't care who's playing quarterback. I don't care if you have Patrick Mahomes. If you don't address that offensive line, you are not winning games. They have the money to do it in free agency. They're going to have a high draft pick if they want to look there as well. You've got Peter Skoronski, who has kind of been off and on, but it's hard when you don't have a lot of help next to you on top of it. And I really think, like, you look at an Aaron Brewer and maybe some of the other guys that they could be quality backups. If you address your offensive line, you're guaranteed at the very least, you're going to pick 9th in this draft.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to address some holes. Now, there are a ton of holes on this roster, and they're not going to be able to fix everything.
Nope.
There's going to be a weakness somewhere, and that's how it happens. That's how it goes when you don't draft well in past drafts and your guys don't work out and turn out. That's what happens. But they have a lot of money in free agency, and they're going to have a high draft pick. So they have the ability to fix some of these holes. And this is, I mean, if I'm Rand Carthon, I am...
Now
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
But I'm a little nervous.
You gotta go
because this is huge.
You gotta hit on this one.
This is the biggest offseason the Titans have had. I would say since I've been here.
Yeah. This
what,
is
17, 18 years?
Yeah, this is pretty big right here. This is pretty big. You got to look at it. I think maybe minimum 2 people remain on this offensive line. Minimum. And that's a maybe. I know Skoronski without question. Outside of that, man, everybody else can go. Like, MP, and it's not a knock to him, but MPF got hurt.
No,
not his fault.
I'd be great with him as a backup.
Mm.
You just...
Yeah, you got to go get...
They have zero... They have not... Look at me. I ate peanuts in the last break. Now
It'll do that every
up.
time, I'm telling you.
I'm about to switch my sweater to naughty. They have not had depth on this offensive line in 3 years.
Not ever.
3 years.
That's tough.
It's time. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to be able to fix all of it. They're not going to be able to fill all these holes, and we know that. But good Lord, it's going to be a really fun offseason, isn't it?
It's going to be a great one.
Whew,
Let's go, Rand. It's on you, baby.
All right, last break of the day. We're so glad you guys are hanging out with us here on this Tuesday. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. We have one more segment before we get you to the Coaches Show with Mike Vrabel and Mike Keith. That is coming up after us. But one more segment with you guys. We love you. You want to hit the phone line, 615-737-1045. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Do you need new doors, new windows, replacement windows? Well, guess what? They're a lot more affordable with Pella Windows and Doors than you would expect them to be. I know because I had to replace windows and doors in my house and my rental property. And they were awesome to work with. Actually, just passed Brittany's number along to a couple of my friends who also need windows. And, you know, it's not the number one thing you really want to do in your house. I get it. Maybe you want a new kitchen and things like that. But sometimes you don't have a choice. And that's where I was. And Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville was awesome. And they helped me out so much with my entire project. Right now, too, Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville giving you 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. Give them a call. Schedule your free consultation. It's easy to schedule it online, by the way, or reach out to me and I'll send you Brittany's number. She'll take care of you. Schedule that free consultation. Check out their limited time special offer, PellaNashville.com. That's PellaNashville.com.
Welcome back into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone. Last segment to lock up I guess this is locking up your Christmas and, starting to head into the new year. Getting all your toys and everything played with. Get your presents and all of that unwrapping. Hope everybody are the guys the only ones that have to put the wrappers in the trash? Babsy, do you put the wrappers in the trash? Somehow I feel like I always get stuck with that.
No, I actually do it, but I'm kind of anal and I want things clean and put up in places.
That's true.
So
Okay,
my anxiety gets to me if I can't see the floor. So, so it's me. But I know in a lot of houses, it is not me.
It's me. It's me. I took a lot of trash. Man, the trash, I always go to the recycle center. Man, dude,
was it
the
packed?
line? Oh my gosh, Babsy. Like ridiculous. It took 30 minutes to get in.
Well, because your normal trash pickup is always delayed and pushed back because it's Christmas. So,
Yep. But shout out to my people over there, man. Y'all always listen to. Love y'all. All right, what you got, Babsy?
You want to hit Dr. C in Brentwood here on the way out. All right. Hey, Dr. C.
Hi. Hey. Thank you. And I have the big Ron, Don, and then, I lost my thought.
All right, what up, Dr.
Ron,
C?
Don, and the baby Bab's mom. Okay, whenever I get a minute on the zone, I like to start always as a spokesman for 240,000 listeners that you have by giving all of you appreciation as being the best talk show in the whole of the United States.
Appreciate it.
When I am out of town, I run into somebody wearing sports paraphernalia, and I ask them, what is the best sports talk station that you have here? And they tell me, and I go tune in, and believe me, you all are the number one, and there's no close second.
Yeah, appreciate that, Dr. C.
Start off with RKW in the morning, then Buck and Lucas, then Blaine and that new guy, I think he's named Mickey. Then they are 3HL, you all are rocking it with also with Joe Hunt, the greatest producer in the world.
He's off today, but we'll tell him.
I'll get into the sports reasons for my call.
Okay.
I have a little bit to say for Greg Cosell, Don, and then play a big run. For Greg, I have so much admiration for him as that guy has, no doubt, watched more video of NFL players than anyone in the world.
Yep.
Greg said last week that he noticed a play that was well blocked that the King didn't quite get through it. Now, my theory is that the King was so shocked and amazed to see a play that was blocked cleanly that he had to take a half of a second pause, and I thought that's what, maybe got him to tackle. Let me move on briefly. Greg didn't need to mention to us the 120 times that the King has been met 3 and 4 yards deep in the backfield. I don't think anybody could run out of that situation. Now for Dawn and her wants to get Will Levis killed. She says he needs to get more experience. Dawn, Will has shown us what he can do when there's a clean line and a pocket that he can look out and throw downfield. If the O-line gives him a little bit of time, but for the most part, I've seen enough experience with him running for his life or getting off of his rear end. And that's a problem there. Now, the big Ron, i.e. the player. Your comments a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to finish quickly. Your comments a couple of weeks ago about the King and the Hall of Fame. Ken O'Hara called me at the end of last season and said if a running back can get 1,500 yards behind the worst offensive line in the league, he's earned the Hall of Fame along with the other things he has accomplished. He will be in the Hall of Fame.
All right. Dr. C, we're up against it because Mike Vrabel's show is in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, they're gonna get us in.
But thank you. Yes, appreciate it. Derrick Henry in the Hall
Dr.
of Fame.
C. Derrick Henry Hall of Fame, yeah. Derrick Henry
go.
Hall of Fame, yeah. Ain't no, I love it, and I don't think it's over.
All right. Come on, Smiley. There you go. Sorry, we just got an extra minute added here.
I said 54.
Oh, you said 53,
No, you
35.
said 53.
Oh, that's my fault.
Yeah.
So that's why I kept asking.
That's why I was like, come on, we gotta go.
Yeah.
There you go. You just got behind the scenes that nobody cares
Production.
about. Yep. Yes. So can I address
Yes.
the Will Levis thing real quick?
Yep,
In 20 seconds. Yes, absolutely. I would like for him to play if he's 100% healthy. I don't want him to risk hurting the ankle more, especially a high ankle sprain, but more experience. You can't manufacture experience. He'll see different looks. He'll see more things, and it will only make him better for next season when they have an offensive line that can protect for him.
Hey, man, that's how you wrap it up, Babsy. Good job. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you get in here. We love you. Good night. God bless you. Peace.
See ya.
No after party
Wouldn't wanna
tonight,
be you.
but it would be presented by Awaken 180.